All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you're finding this little scenery very pretty this morning, all this white stuff. So we're gonna get going today with a circuit, and so we're doing it 3 times. If you only have a short time, you can do just the first round, or you can do 2 rounds, or you can follow me up to the 3 rounds. So we're gonna get going with our little warm up. Again, you do what you can today. You listen to your body and for what it can do today. Feet under your hips, and you're gonna lift one heel up. Just stretch out your foot, bring it down, other side up. So good morning, bonjour Carole. Good morning, Sue. There's 6 of us this morning doing the workout together. And last one. Good, let's find our balance on one leg, bend the other. You're gonna bend it at about 90 degrees. You're gonna slide it in front, then open it just a little bit. Resist the temptation to lift it really high at first. So just 45 degrees. Trying to move, you can touch your toes to reset in between. Trying to move inside the hip joint as much as you can. So you can lift it a little higher, see how that feels. But if you start feeling the hip move, then that's too high. All right, one more time. And let's switch legs. So it doesn't matter how high you lift it, really, as long as it's moving inside the hip joint. So up, open, together, and try to go slow to try to explore how much you can move that leg inside the hip. Good, 2 more. And last one. Perfect. Feet a little wider than your hips. Let's bring your arms up. You're going to give me one rotation forward. The other one's going to rotate back. And then you're going to switch. And good morning, Rita. And switch. So again, go nice and slow and see how your shoulders are feeling today. Do you have that full range, or are you feeling a little twinge in there because you slept on it and it didn't like it? So respect that. Work within your range for today. Good, one more. And let's keep our arms up and rotate your wrists. Give me some bigger circle with the wrists. Watch that your elbows are not going with it. Sometimes they want to get it with the movement as well. Other direction. So start easy, and then bigger and bigger. Good. And relax. Let's move the shoulders. I'm seeing across the street my neighbor, so I have my camera is in front of the window, and I'm thinking I'm very happy that I'm actually working from home this morning. He's scraping his car. So it's one of the advantages of working out from home, is that you don't have to scrape your car to go anywhere, and we can work out together. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a rotation here. So feet are a little wider than your hips. You're going to bend your knees, little toe taps. Good, and then you're going to take your right arm and you're going to bring it forward. So I'm going nice and easy. I don't want to reach up. So just try to lighten your core and then give me a rotation. Looking up in front and lighten your core a little bit more. Good, now let's rotate a little bit more. Now here, if I follow my hands with my eyes, I get a little dizzy because that's too fast. So I'm going to keep my eyes about 45 degrees in front on each side. My arms are going to rotate a little bit more. Good. Just a few more. And last one. And let's bring it in. And let's do some little marches. So up and up. So you're lifting that knee up, thinking about moving from the hip and not with your hips here. So sometimes we try to go a little further with our knee, but we're compromising our back. So think up nice and tall, and then lifting up. You can put your hands on your hips here and see how that feels. You can have a look in the mirror, or put your, that's a lot of devices, but if you're watching me on your computer or your iPad, you can film yourself with your phone And then you'll see, you don't have to keep it, you can just leave it on the camera app. And if you leave it there, you're gonna see what you're doing. And you can turn sideways and have a look and see how your form is. Get a little faster, let's add the arms. Let's walk to the side. Other side. And back. I'm sorry, I just thought about that for the phone. Instead of finding a mirror, have your phone on that camera app, unless you're using your phone to watch the workouts. It can't do both at the same time, but, and again, one more time, in each direction. All right, so our circuit today is 50-second on, 10 off. We do have 7 exercises. I'm just gonna pause the timer between, so we're gonna get a little bit more than 10 seconds to explain the movement quickly in between, and we're gonna go for it. So the first round is a little bit slower in the movements, and then just because we're learning the movement kind of, or reviewing them, because it's all stuff you've already done before, and then we increase the speed in the second and third round. So you do what you can for today. Listen to your body. The increase in speed is optional. The form, however, please do what, keep the form, so don't compromise form for speed. So our first one, I'm gonna keep my timer handy. So you're gonna be into a mini squat position. So you're gonna sit back over your heels here. Your weight is gonna be on your right leg. So just slowly lift the weight off your left foot, toes are just touching. And now here, we're gonna go and touch towards the back. So it's gonna just extend to the back, squeeze the glute, squeeze your calf, touch in. We're gonna do 25 seconds on one side, 25 seconds on the other, and we're gonna get going very shortly. So pressing into that right heel. You're using your whole foot for balance. Toes are just touching the floor here. Nice and tall, touching back, touching in, touching back, touching in, back, in. So you're not putting weight on this leg, you're just extending it back without moving your upper body, without squeezing the low back. So we don't want that big arch here. Pressing back, and let's switch leg. Find your balance and straighten back, in. So this leg should actually be happy right now that we just removed all our weight from it. Make sure you're not sinking into this leg, so pull up nice and tall. Touching back just a little bit more, pressing into the heel. Good, one more. Perfect. The next one, we're going to do heel taps. You're tapping your heels in front, and we're adding the arms. Now I'm going to bring the arms a little higher as we go. Do what you can. If you're feeling any pinch into your low back as you're lifting the arms, keep the arms shoulder height. That's 50 seconds. 50 seconds of this is boring. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch back. 2, 3, 4. And front. 2, 3, 4. And back. 2, 3, 4. Ready? And go up nice and tall in front. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the back. 2, 3, 4 and front. 2, 3, 4 and back. 2, 3, 4 and front. 2, 3, 4 back. 2, 3, 4 front. 2, 3, 4 back. 2, 3, 4 front. 2, 4 and back. 2, 3, 4. So front, arms can go up, and same with the back. So you can keep your arms a little lower for both. Make sure you're not dipping here. And I lost my count, so keep going. We got 10 more seconds. And 1. I'm not going to count because maybe you're not on the same floor. And one more time. Good. And relax. We're going to go side to side here. Toes open to the corners of your mat. And we're going to go from one side, sitting back over the heel. Kind of like if we want to get a little stretch here. Then come on up with me. Let's go over on the other side. sitting back. Make sure you're not switching here. Pressing into your heel, your knees in line with your toes, coming up, pulling down. So going nice and slow so you can explore until when you can go down without pain in your knees, pain in your back, hips. Make sure you're not dropping your upper body. So your upper body's coming down a little bit just with that angle, but we're not dropping it down just on its own. And over, pressing into your heel. You might get a little stretch here in each time you're working that side that you're going on. So I'm going nice and slow here, side to side. This is our last one. Good, and let's bring it back in. And we're going into shuffle, shuffle, knee up. So we all know what this shuffle is. At the other hand, I'm bringing my knee up and go. Nice and light shuffle, knee, shuffle, and knee, shuffle, knee, shuffle. That knee up, it's just the knee up. It's not the whole hip following. So straight upper body. Okay, so you're not doing a big crunch here. Nice and light in that shuffle. You can make them as wide as you can depending on the space you have. Keep that landing soft. You can walk down and up, or you can jump down. The next one is going to be for our arms, but your core at the same time. This is our last shuffle. Feet under your hips. Unlock your knees. Hinge at the hips. You're inclined forward a little bit. Nice alignment here. Arms in front. You're going to lift one arm up in front to have the alignment so it's next to your ear. And then switch your arms. You're going to exhale as you lift. Abs in. Working on those shoulders. Make sure you're not pulling up here. It's just lifting. So we're alternating our arms. Breathe out as you're lifting. Now if that's going well, bring both arms up and lower. Reset the shoulders, exhale up. So you can keep alternating and lower. Watch your eyes, they're on the floor just in front of you. Pressing up. Abs in. Inhale down. Exhale up. So we're doing a lot of shoulders today. And come on up and relax. So we're going to do high knees here. So up, not up. And then inner thighs. So up, 2, 3, 4, and in. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4, and in. 2, 3, 4. So I'm touching the top of my knee, touching the inside of my calves. You don't have to. It just, I find for me, it helps. And then here you're staying nice and tall throughout the whole movement. So we're not bending forward to go meet our knee. We're bringing the knee up to where we can. So you can go a little faster. Up. So you can keep walking down or run. 4 and 1, 2, 4 and up. Good. And we're going on the floor for the next one. So you're going to go into that nice flat position on the floor, back into neutral, shoulder blades in. We're going to lift the knees up at tabletop. You're going to alternate toe down. If we're going to do 2 per side of these, and then I'm going to give you the option to drop both at the same time. Now, if as you're dropping both, you're feeling your back lifting, that's too much. So go back to alternating. Even if they feel a little easy, focus on your breathing. All right. So back in neutral, legs in tabletop. Let's start with one at a time. So you're going to exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, pelvic floor in. Inhale. Good. So you can keep alternating or you can go together. You're going to exhale as you lower because that's the hardest part to maintain your abs in place. Inhale, exhale. Because your back wants to lift here and you're going to work hard Not to let it lift. Pelvic floor in. And if you're exhaling, pelvic floor in, we're also making sure that we're not pushing through the belly here. Good. And bring your knees in and relax a little bit. All right, let's grab some water and get ready to do it all over again. So, if there's a modification I didn't explain, something that you cannot do for whatever reason, let me know, send me a note, and we'll modify it. If you need to modify a cardio because it's not working out for you, you can do whatever cardio you want. You can do jumping jacks, tap jacks, you can do skipping on the spot. Just move or move for that 50 seconds, okay? So, we're going back to those mini squat. This time, we're gonna do a side touch, okay? So your feet are gonna be under your hips and you're gonna bend down, bring yourself down into that mini squat. Make sure you're not going this way. Hips are back a little bit. Let's start with that left leg out to the side. You can slide it in or lift it up. So you can slide, extend, full extension, feel that those sides engaged. Touch, extend. So this leg is getting tired. Make sure you're not sinking into it. Pull up. Good. Breathe. You're going to breathe out. Switch as you extend. Touch. Extend. Good. Make sure you're not transferring your weight over. That's the hardest one with this side touch. This is our last one. Good. And relax. So we're doing front. So heel tap and toe taps in the back. So let's get ready for our heel taps in front. Up nice and tall. Think island dancing. And back. 2, 3, 4. And with arms 2, 3, 4 and back. 2, 4 and front. And back. So I'm getting your brain a good workout in front so you can walk them or you can jump them. You do what you can, what works for today. Your back is nice and straight the whole time. We're not bending forward. Last one. All right, and relax those shoulders. Feet are open, and we're gonna bring it down on your right side, pressing into the heel. Good, and then let's come up and pull yourself down. If this is going well for you, you're gonna come up and down one more time with me. And then we're gonna stay down, bend the knee, slide it over. So, you can keep sliding them over and going lower as needed, or you can keep coming up and down. Whichever works for you today. Respect your knees. Pressing into your heels. You're not going into the toes here. So we're doing a little slides. Abs are in. So basically when you're sliding, you don't get that little break in the middle. You're working all the time. You're extending the leg, but don't lock the knee. Good, and come on up, walk it in. All right, shake it out. We're doing that shuffle. So let's go over nice and light. Shuffle, shuffle, knee up. So you can walk those or jump them. Remember, straight core. So there's 50 seconds at the end, focusing on your abs. But really, you're working your abs here. We work them in the mini squat. You also work them in the heel tap and skier, so front back. We work them in the Cossack, believe it or not, because you gotta hold that back nice and straight. And here, Adding that knee up, there's extra balance, keeping that core nice and long. And your arms, they're actually working really hard during your arms. So you're getting a full core workout. All right, and we're gonna go into those arms. So unlock your knees, arms to your side this time. Thumbs up. Leg in line, press back. Press. So you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades. So you're working those muscles, the same kind of area as you were before, but in a different direction. So watch that you're not pulling with your chin forward. Nice straight line from the tailbone to the top of your head. You're releasing, lengthen, press. Press. And press. Breathe out when you're pressing up. We're not going for a speed here. You want to squeeze the shoulder blades, but we're not pushing the chest forward. Your back is nice and straight, core in that neutral position. Press. We have a few more. You should start feeling your shoulders a little bit. Last one. And drop your hands. Come on up. Relax those shoulders. All right. High knees and inner thighs. 4 of each. Again, you can walk those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can run them. Make sure you're bringing your legs up, not your upper body down. Slow them down as needed. We got 15 seconds left. All right, and on our back, quickly back into that neutral position, and let's get ready. Start with alternating for at least 1. Exhale. Inhale, switch, and then if you can go into both legs as you're exhaling, trying to keep that 90-degree here. So I'm not putting my toes down here. I'm really hinging at the hips, bringing those toes down. So watch that you're not just bending your knee more here. So I want that 90-degree angle, exhaling, inhale. That's going to help you control your breathing. Good. And just a little bit more. This is our last one. Good. And relax. And shift your hips. And come on up. All right. So we've got one more round. And it's over for today. So again, in the last round, sometimes our movements get better because this is the 3rd time we're doing them. Sometimes we get a little tired, and so we just have to watch for that form. Squat is going to be a front touch. Arms are going to be, so we did front, sides, they're going to be behind. I'm going to show you thumbs towards each other. We're going to press up and together. Release up together. So I'll remind you when we get there. That way we're working the entire range of movement for that area. All right, mini squat touch and touching in front. Okay, so feet under your hips. Let's go into that mini squat. Finding your balance on your right leg, up nice and tall. And without transferring your weight, you're touching in front, touching air. So you're just lengthening that leg, touch. Lengthen, touch. As you're lengthening, you should feel that quad engage a little bit. Abs are in. Exhale as you're lengthening. Exhale. Inhale. And switch. Finding your balance, forward. You can slide it. Sorry, if you have any issues with balance, you can keep your toes on the ground that's gonna help you with that balance. Lengthen, in, lengthen, in. I had to mention balance to lose it. And in, and relax, shake it out. All right, we're going into that heel tap and back toe tap. Let's get ready. Bring your arms to where it works for you. So walking them or jumping them. Your arms are nice in control. So I'm not just flinging my arms. I know I lost my count here. So you have nice long arms. Add resistance, like you're moving through a mud bath. And you gotta slice that mud. And it's okay if you lose count too, just do forward and back. And I'm not gonna count because it might just confuse you more. Back. So nice strong core. Keep it light on your feet. Make sure you're not landing hard on your heels. And relax. Shake it out. We're going into those side to side Cossack. Coming up in the middle. So I'm going to do two like that. Let's think up nice and tall. Bring yourself down. Pressing into the heel. Pull yourself up out of those. That leg. Pull yourself down. So you're not sinking into it. Pulling up. Pulling down. You have the option to keep it low. So you're bending that knee instead of coming up. You're staying supported here. Abs are engaged. We're not sinking into those legs. You're pulling up, sliding side to side. You can bring it lower depending on your knee. You're not locking that leg. So you're extending it, but not adding that little pop. It's almost over. Up nice and tall here. You can have your hands on your thighs, but don't rest them there. They're just touching. Good. And bring yourself up. Let's walk it in. All right, we got that shuffle. So same thing. When you're doing that knee up, make sure you're not crunching it. Let's get ready and go. Shuffle, shuffle. Woo! Knee up. Shuffle, shuffle, up. Watch your floor. That you're not tripping over anything. Lift those feet up. That's what happens when you're doing a few things at the same time. And up. And I've got a nice, clean, flat floor. 20 more seconds. It's almost over. 10 seconds. Do what you can. Go at the speed that you can and is safe for you. Last one. Good. Now with our arms, feet under your hips. Unlock those knees. Hand forward. Arms by your side. Thumbs towards you. Close your fist. Press them back. Now press them up a little bit more. Thumbs towards each other. Release. Up towards each other. Watch that you're not trying to help with your neck. So, every time I press them towards each other and release, my arms come down a little bit. Just a couple, maybe a centimeter. So press it up again. And it's gonna work your triceps, your arms, but also that little squeeze for your shoulders. So going sideways, that way you're not looking up. You're pressing back together. Breathe. Five seconds. And we got one more cardio. All right, and relax those shoulders, high knees, and inner thighs. Going for 4, again, up nice and tall, not going to meet your knees. Let's get ready and go. So up, 2, 3, 4, and in. 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 4, in, and up, and in. So you do the speed that works for you today. Keep that back nice and straight. Looking up in front. You got about 10 seconds. And relax. All right. And we're going on the floor for that tabletop. Place your back into that neutral position. Legs in tabletop. Alternate or both together. Let's inhale. Exhale, lengthen. And inhale. Good. And you can reset here. Exhale, lengthen. So we're not going for speed. I'm going for form. Focus on that 90 degree. If you have a hard time with your breathing, make sure that when you're exhaling, pelvic floor comes in. And then breathe. If you think about exhaling, you're going to make sure you're taking a breath in. So exhale. And then sometimes, I'm making you think about exhaling. Sometimes we hold our breath. So if you exhale, you're going to breathe in. Good, last one. Extend. Good, and relax. And shift those hips. Okay, let's stay on the floor here for a little cool down. Good work, everybody. That's awesome. You did the whole thing. And I think, no, we didn't lose anybody. So that's pretty awesome. Now it's showing that the signal is low, so hopefully I did not lose you. For the cool down, excuse me, we're going to take your left foot, you're going to put it on the ground, take your right knee and give me some little circles with it. Try to relax the hip. Good. And then let's put that ankle on your knee. Grab your hand, put it on the inside of your leg, gently press it open, opening up the hip a little bit. Release. Grab the top leg. Let's bring it towards you so you get a nice little stretch for your glute. Adding that little movement, nice and slow. Good, and let's release. Switch leg, bring that knee in. Give me some little circles. Good, let's put that ankle on your knee. Gently open it up, pressing it open, gently. Release, grab the top of your leg, gently bring it in. Little stretch into your glute, little shifts. Good. And let's put it down. Let's take your right leg and cross it over your left. And then, so like if you were sitting with a mini skirt, so you would be, knees are kind of together, and you're gonna lift the knees and bring them towards you. Now, my right hand happens to be on my left leg because it's crossed over, right? I'm going to slide my hands on my shin, maybe about halfway. Nothing, not past your ankles, that's all. You're going to flex your feet. So toes towards the ceiling, and then pulling the shins towards the floor. So your heels are aiming towards the floor a little bit, and then pull the legs a little bit towards you. You're going to feel a little stretch. Have that little movement side to side, so the little stretch into the glute here. Just a little different than the other one before. So I don't do this one all the time. Sometimes it's not comfortable for our stomach. So if you don't like this one, then you can redo that figure 4. It just goes into a slightly different area, but it's very similar. So cross your other leg over, bring the knees up, and slide your hands down. And gently flex your feet, heels down and up towards you. Good, and then little shifts. If I ate pizza the night before, my belly really doesn't like this, so. All right, and release. Okay, and we're gonna come up into an all-4 position, so you're gonna go on your hands and knees. So we're gonna do the cat-cow here, but I want you to think about your back, and I'll make you think about it in different ways. So I'm making your brain work all the way to the end here. And so you're going to go into a neutral position. Make sure you've got the weight on all of your hand, not just where your wrist is. And here you're going to relax. So just relax. And then you're going to gently lift both sides of your spine towards the ceiling, and then dropping your hips, dropping your tailbone. And then you're going to bring it back to neutral. And I want you to imagine if somebody was grabbing just below your hip bone here and gently pulling you back, as if they want to drag you nicely out of the room. And then from under your arms, you're going to pull forward. So you got two friends that want to bring you in two different stores, but it's nothing violent. So nice and gentle, lengthening. And then you can look up a little bit in front, but don't squeeze the back of your neck. And then release the stretch. Come back to neutral. Now think about your shoulder blades in between them. And then push that towards the ceiling. And then drop your head. And then gently drop your hips. And let's bring it back to neutral. So similar movement, just different little stretch. Hips towards the back. Chest towards the front. Lengthen a little bit more, looking up in front. And release. And now from the back, the sides of your spine, not your spine. We don't want to push the belly button through. You're going to think about the muscles on each side of the spine, around your low back, pushing up. And then follow along with the hips and the head. And release. Good. Send your right hip towards the right side. Left shoulder towards the left front corner. So you're doing a little C shape, release, and switch. Left hip towards the left side, right shoulder towards the right corner. And release. Good, let's come down into a sitting position. And gonna relax your shoulders. Let's do a little quad stretch. So bring one leg behind here. And you're going to maintain that hip in place. You're going to gently slide the knee back. Gently, a little stretch into your quad. Release. Let's do that again. Gently pulling it back, nice and slow. Good, and release. Let's bring that leg forward. A little bit more for the glute or the low back, depending on the days. You're going to lengthen out of your hips. Slowly walk your hands forward. So it doesn't matter if you can fold down here. I want you to come up and gently pull forward. So you're pulling that muscle in both directions. And if I just bend more here, I'm not pulling on it. Let's walk our hands in the direction of our toes and bring it forward. So the fold down is not bad. So if you're in a different class and that's what you're doing, it's okay. You're not gonna hurt yourself. I just sometimes for the stretch that I'm looking at, it's really not comfortable when you're bending all the way over and squishing your belly. And gently pull that back. Let's release and maintain the hip in place, gently pulling it back. So basically in any class that you do, if you're feeling a pinching somewhere, or if you're squeezing your lungs, squeezing your stomach, and you're really uncomfortable, then try to modify the position by trying to lengthen that area and then do the movement so that you're releasing that discomfort. So pulling up and walking forward. And then let's walk your hands towards the direction that your toes are pointing. And let's bring it back in and all the way in. Good, relax your shoulders. I'm gonna do a little leg stretch. You're gonna extend your leg out to the side here and up nice and tall. And you're gonna slowly bring that hand not to your toes, but about a foot above. So sliding gently over. I didn't move much and I'm feeling that stretch here. And release. Let's do that again. Pulling up, sliding that hand over gently and relax. Let's switch leg. So wherever that leg is, so for some people it'll be in the front, for some people it's a little bit more open. I'm about 45 degrees and that's where I'm comfortable. I don't get a cramp. So up nice and tall, foot is flexed, hand above, lengthen. I don't want to squish, lengthen and reaching over. So keeping that same distance, you're just reaching a little further and release. I can go a little further on that side. Up and gently over, gently. Good, and release. Perfect, let's bring it back. And release those shoulders, hands to your side, lift them up behind, little rotation, sweeping forward and up towards the ceiling. Now open up the chest. Good. I'm going to do a little bit more for the shoulder. Bring your arms behind, little rotation, sweeping forward. We're going to stay in front. You're going to relax your shoulders here. Push your abs towards the back. Reach a little forward towards me with your right hand. Release. Same thing on the other side. Reach, release, and up, and open up, and relax. Good, and gently lengthen your neck, looking up at the ceiling. Bring it back down, lengthen, looking down. Bring it back to neutral, and without collapsing, just gently lower, relax, drop your chin towards your chest. Give me a little roll to one side, bringing it back to center, little roll to the other side, and back to center and up. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the circuit, and I'll see you either tomorrow for eccentrics, aging backwards in the morning, or in French strength and tone, or on Friday morning for Pilates. And have a great day, everybody.